Good morning, y'all. Welcome to my basement. So this is where I'm kind of making the videos. For 3 years, this is where I taught or talked to teachers from. It was kind of a cool little space for me. Here is your warm-up, okay? So you're solving number one. You are graphing number two. Number one says solve. 5 minus 2 times 4x plus 7 equals 3x minus 2 times 3x plus 4. And then you're graphing negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 4. Okay, so one more time, take a look at it. If you'll pause me now, that way you guys can work on it. I'd appreciate that. So pause me. Okay, here we go. Welcome back. So let's solve. Find your balance point. Again, equations are important. We are going to start by distributing. We have something smack dab up against the parenthesis. We're taking negative 2 times 4x. We're taking the negative 2 times the positive 7. The 5 drops down. Negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x. Negative 2 times positive 7 is negative 14. Combine like terms. I have my constants. 5 minus 14 gives me negative 9. The negative 8x drops down. Do the same thing on the other side. We're going to distribute. Take the negative 2, multiply, multiply. Remember, distribute means multiplication. That gives me 3x minus 6x minus 8. Combine like terms. Well, in this case, it's the variables. So 3x minus 6x is negative 3x minus 8. Okay, here we go. So we're almost done. Going to move the variables. So step 4, combine the variables on opposite sides. Opposite sides means opposite operation. So I add 8x to both sides. Adding, because that's the opposite, gives me negative 9 equals 5x minus 8. I add my constants. Again, opposite sides, opposite operation. That gives me 0. So now I have 5x equals a negative 1. I divide by 5. I cannot simplify that. That leaves me x equals negative 1/5. If you have questions or you need to pause it, go for it. Number 2, we need to get it in the form of y equals mx plus b. M is my slope, B is my y-intercept. So as I solve this, I need to get the y by itself. So I'm adding 3x to both sides. That leaves me 2y equals 3x minus 4. I divide every individual term by the 2. That leaves me with y equals 3 halves x. 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. My m is a positive 3 halves. My b is a negative 2. Remember, my b is my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we start with my y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. I start with my b. That's at negative 2. Don't move your pencil. So your slope is positive, which means it's rise divided by run. But if it's positive, we're going up 1, 2, 3. Then we have to run only to the right, 1, 2. If at any point you are running to the left, understand that you done screwed up, okay? You need to make sure that you're going up and to the right, not to the left. So if you have any questions, I'm sure you can ask somebody and they'll gladly help you out. Okay? So go ahead and get your notes out. Remember, today we are going to solve questions, or at least solve systems, by graphing. So our objective today is to review solving systems by graphing. What's on my other side here? Oh, I can't turn it that way. Oh well, I'll just use one side. Because I am a geek and I have a double-sided whiteboard, but that's none of you guys don't care. Okay, so here we go. First thing. It is let's see, I had my surgery on 14, 15, 16, 17, it's the 18th. So it is 3/18/25. So put that on your notes. This is solving by graphing. So our first problem that we're going to do is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. Y equals 2x minus 3. Now remember, I am guessing on these as far as my graph's not going to be perfect, okay? So understand that my graph's not going to be perfect, and that's all right. yours on your test, which is on Friday, will be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got two equations. I've got this guy, I've got this guy. The first thing that I'm going to do to make this easier for myself is say M equals B equals for both. You need your slope and you need your y-intercept to graph any of these. So I'm going to start here. Y equals mx plus b. My m is -1/2. My b is +2. We have our x-axis, we have our y-axis. Okay? So I'm going to use my kids. I don't even know what this is, but I don't know where this came from. So we have we start on our y-intercept, +2. I put a point, don't move your pencil tip. My slope is negative, down 1 over 1 over 2. And let's see, no, I'm just going to use my hand. And we draw a straight line. You, before the class is over, should be using some type of straight edge, whether it's a ruler, whether it's the edge of your calculator, whether it's the edge of your notebook, something that's straight. This one is the tricky one. Y equals mx plus b. So my b is -3. But my slope isn't just 2. You need to make sure that when you are doing slope, that it has a rise and a run. So 2 is really 2 divided by something. The only thing that gives me 2 is 2 divided by 1. Any integer, whether it's positive or negative, that does not have a denominator, will have a denominator of 1. So I start at -3. I'm going up 1, 2 over 1. Now, to make sure that I know what I'm doing, at least for mine, I'm going to do that slope again, because slope is a constant, it never changes. So I'm going to go up 1, 2 over 1. Oh, okay. So now I know exactly where it intersects. This right here is my answer. Okay? Where they intersect is the answer. That's the answer. Now, do I actually want that? No. So I'm going to erase all that because I don't want to get you confused with another line. So we need to find the ordered pair. And some of you are still having a little bit of trouble finding that ordered pair of my solution. You start at the origin. You're going to count over on your x's. So I count over 1, 2. My x value is 2. From there, how many up or down do I need to go? 1. +1. That's my solution. My answer on this graph is 2, 1. Once again, if you have any questions, now would be a great time to say, I don't get it. Can you help me? Obviously, I'm not there, but somebody can help you. Depending on the class, you got plenty of people in there who will gladly help you. Okay, so if you need to, pause this so we can copy it down. If not, let's move on. Okay, so let's do another one that has some tricky things as well. I'm going to add it all in here. So let's go y equals 4 and y equals x minus 1. Okay, so once again, we're going to split this guy up. Let's make our graph. So we're solving all by graphing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Y, x. Y equals mx plus b. Well, this just says y equals b. There is no x. If there is no x, the x has to be a number. Well, there is no x. The x then is 0. There are 0 x's in this problem. Y equals 0x plus b, so we start at 4. Well, Mr. H, does that mean it's just a dot at 4? No. When it's 0, it is horizontal. It has no x's, so it cannot intersect the x-axis. Okay? I might have screwed this up a little bit, but we'll figure it out. So this is y equals x minus 1. M b. My b is easy. It's a -1. But what is my slope? There is no coefficient in front of that. But how many x's do we have? In this case, it's just 1x. So once again, if I just put a 1, that doesn't give me a rise divided by run. My slope needs to be 1 divided by something, and the only way to keep that 1 is to divide it by 1. So I start at -1 and I go up 1 over 1. And I'm going to keep doing that. Up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. And I'm going to need one more because I go up 1 over 1. And if this was a real line, I missed a lot of those dots, but you get the idea. Here's where this line is intersecting. Well, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my intersection. Okay, to double check it, this is x. This is y. Substitute it in. 5 minus 1 is 4. Because x is 5, minus 1 is 4. Y is 4 equals 4. That works. Okay, questions there. Let's do one more. So I want to give you plenty of time to work. That way you can check your answers. Your answer key is going to be there. The test is going to be a little longer than what you're used to, so you need to make sure that you've got these pretty well in hand. Okay, so let's do this one. Here we go. Maybe two of these. X plus 2y equals 4, and 3x plus 2y equals 8. Because you will have questions like this. Mr. H, these are not in slope-intercept form. Well played. So let's label them. This will be equation 1. That'll be equation 2. In order to graph them, we need to get them into slope-intercept form. So we take equation 1 and we're going to say, okay, x plus 2y equals 4. And if you need to, how many x's are there? There's 1. The goal is to get y by itself, so I subtract 1x from both sides. I cannot combine my 4 minus 1x. That stays. But remember, we want our x closest to that equal sign, which is -1x. That's still a positive 4. I divide each individual thing by 2. That leaves me y equals -1/2 x plus 2. There's equation 1. Let's come over here for equation 2. And I know there's a glare. Hopefully you guys can see. I haven't been down here in a while. I don't have my ring light down here right now. 3x plus 2y equals 8. Once again, we need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. That leaves me 2y equals -3x plus 8, because you cannot combine those. You cannot combine your variable, your coefficient, with your constant. Divide each individual thing by 2. That leaves me y equals -3/2 x plus 4. Okay, so now let's graph. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, on your actual test, these are going to be perfect graphs. So if you graph them with a straight line, you should get much easier answers here. So this one, I'm going to come back over and do the same thing. M equals, B equals. Y equals mx plus b. My m is -1/2, which means the line has to be going downhill. My b is +2. So I start off at +2. I'm going down 1 to the right 1, 2. And I'm going to draw a nice straightish line. Okay, this guy, m is down 3 over 2. What are you doing, Mr. H? And your y-intercept is +4. So starting off at +4, going down 1, 2, 3, over 1 over 2. And we have our answer. Okay, we have our intersection. But remember, we have to have our ordered pair. It's over from the origin 1, 2, up 1. This is solving by graphing. If you have any questions, please ask. Know that I love you guys. Heavenly Father, please protect my kiddos on this day. Let their brains work well. Let them know that they're loved, that they're still thought about, even though I'm not there. God, we do everything in your name. Amen. I love you guys. Have a great day.